Well, it's the summer holidays and we are doing something a little different. We're up in Oxfordshire at the Oxford Yurt. I'll put a link below. This is run by a friend of mine, Sarah, and she's put absolutely everything into this place. Let's have a little look around. You'll see that it's incredibly beautiful and such a lovely place to stay. Obviously, I'm going to leave the yurts till last. Beautifully done. There are lots of little things to look at. There's things for children to do. There's musical instruments. There's art. Look at that. There's some stuff to dress up. Let's go and have a look at one of the yurts. Absolutely beautiful. And you literally don't have to bring anything with you. It's all here. Kitchens to cook your food. And bedding already on the beds. Absolutely stunning. There's an outside area where you can cook and party if you're that way inclined. Anyway, I'm not going to spoil too much of it because I think you should get down and see it for yourself. I'm just going to show you the amenities because it's not often that you find a toilet block that is not only comfortable, clean, but also very, very beautiful. Here we go. Absolutely lovely, isn't it? Let's have a look in here. This is the shower block. There's showers in there. And lots of little bits and pieces everywhere. Things to look at, beautiful pictures. Wow, really stunning. Anyway, have a look at the website and book yourselves a weekend here. It is gorgeous. What do you think of this place?
It's amazing.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Lillian?
It's amazing.
Love it. Play my guitar. Oh, look at you. And you are dressed as a Mexican what?
A Mexican person.
A Mexican person. Very nice. As well if you want.
Yes.
So you can put all the salmon in, half the block of feta. That'll be gorgeous, won't it? I just rinsed it. What have we got, Lillian? What have we got for supper?
Salad and bread and
What's in the
steak.
salad?
Leaves.
Yeah.
And salmon.
Yeah.
And tomatoes and olives and feta.
Oh, looks like there's some avocado in there as well.
Oh yes, I'm going.
Delicious. And then a little bit of steak as well. More. Cam's been doing a great job sanding down the toe rail and rub rail, and just getting some varnish on it. Tell us what you're doing, Cam.
Bit of oiling now.
What are you using?
Using D1. It's a nice saturating wood oil.
Very nice.
And you can get D2, which is it's a varnish you can put on top if you're that way inclined.
Nice. How many coats are we on at the moment?
These bits. 6
coats.
And
Yeah,
these
it's starting
bits,
to look.
I did 4. Oh no, 7 these bits, and then 4 on these bits.
It's starting to look really good. When I took on the boat, the previous owner told me that the anodes had not been done when the anti-foul was done, and the anti-foul was done roughly about 10 months to a year ago. So before we pull it out, or at least before we've raised the funds to pull it out, I'm going to put in a temporary anode, which means attaching a wire to the engine block and then throwing a big lump of zinc over the side. So that'll solve that. We've got to make some panels to go over the access holes in the master head. We need to address some of the rot on the toe rail and rubbing strip. We've got, where's the list on my hand? We've got the rot at the mast to do. Around on the deck there's a cover plate that goes around the mast that's rotten, so we're going to take that off. repair it and glass it in. What else do we have? Oh, we've got the tiller to do. Need to take the tiller off, sand and varnish, and reinstall that. Cam's been busy doing a lot of sanding, so we might go with a bit of varnishing, and it's mostly work this week. Next episode is going to be I take the boys to Cowes for a weekend there, and then following that we've got the summer holiday trip with the children, so lots to look forward to. But in the meantime, let's get some work done. There it is, big lump of zinc, and we will pop it in to the water. I'll sort out the route of the wiring at a later stage. Cam's done a great job sanding down all the woodwork, the toe rail and rubbing strip. As you can see, it's come up glorious with a bit of oil on it. This section here is, you can see where the paint's come off, that is the deck. It comes down and meets the hull, so we will mask that up and do it the same as the deck. I have found a couple of sections of rot, which I'm going to chop out and put some new Iroko in there. At the top we'll definitely need to caulk that up before we paint the deck into those edges, but it's looking great, very good indeed. Let me just remind you what it looked like before. We'll just pop over to the other side and have a look at that. Pretty grim. So that's the section that we're going to cut out there, just because there's quite a lot of rot in the top there, so we might as well do that whole section. I think we'll take a little bit more out of there, because that rot seems to have gone down further than I thought. I'm starting to chop out some of the rot from this forward rope locker, and I'm also going to address some of this rot at the bottom of the mast. I mean, it's not the bottom of the mast, because the mast is actually stepped from the hole, so it goes all the way through down to the hole, and this really is just a superficial piece of wood that covers the gap so water doesn't run down the mast and into the boat. So we'll cut back the rot and see how we can repair that. Stop. You can leave that off while you shake it. It doesn't need to be on.
What is it?
This stuff, or what you've got?
Yeah, what I this.
Expanding foam.
No, this thing that fell out.
The tube that you spray in with.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, go. That's it. Okay, stop. Perfect. Because it's expanding foam, you only have to put touch in, and then we just wet. All of the ply underneath that mast hood was completely rotten, so I've cleaned it all out, blown it out, and it's exposed the deck, which is absolutely fine. There's no rot there. So I put some expanding foam in because it's not structural, and then we'll put some nice hardwood around there eventually. But I'm just going to cut the expanding foam out, and that's going to stop all the gaps and wind and bits and bobs and rain and creepy crawlies and whatever. So there it is. Smarten up the anchor. I've scrubbed it down with a wire brush, and I'm just brushing it down with a bit of acetone to get any of the last grease or dust. Managed to pick up a relatively inexpensive outboard for our tender. It's only a 2.3, but at least it will help with the rowing, give us that added little boost. Just got to glass in the bottom of the mast now. Well, it's not the bottom because it's keel stepped, but we're just going to glass this section of the deck there and just put an upstand on, and then put a nice hardwood surround around it, I guess. That isn't structural, as you can see. It's not bolted through, as the mast continues all the way down to the keel. Cam's been doing a great job sanding, glorious sanding. All of the woodwork is going to need rubbing down to about 220 grit, and then we're going to use some epiphanes and we'll get that varnished. Several coats, thinned at first and on and on. So what I'm going to do is start rubbing this down to 220 and then do the last bit with the grain so we can get a nice finish. Once you've knocked the wood down to about 220 with the grain, get some methylated spirits, which is the cheapest alternative to Epiphanes products, and rub the timber down, and you can run your hand over it and feel if there's any grain that you have knocked back. Look, when you run it past, that's what it's going to look like when the varnish is on it. So as you rub that on there, if you see any bits that you're not quite happy with, you can rub it down some more. ones, high gloss brush thinners. You want about a 50-50 for the first coat. Just making up some templates for the covers for all the inspection holes that I've made in the head. So these panels, once removed, we'll be able to get to everything I need to. Good access to everything rather than trying to struggle to get everything through tiny little holes. That up. Take that. It's just a little bit unsquare on the top there, so we'll take that off to there and round off those. And we need to put a bevel on that side of the timber there so it sits flush. So we'll cut that off underneath there. So we've done the bevel on there. That should fit nice and tight to the other part. Okay, I'm happy with how those fit. Let's get them sanded up and get some resin on them to waterproof them front and back, and then we'll reinstall the toilet.